Hello and welcome! It is Gauntlet of Greatness Season 5. We are back to Historical Standard. That's what we did in Season 1, we did in Season 3. It is a ton of fun. Historical Standard basically means we get 16 decks, and every single deck in the field had to be legal at some point in the history of Standard. So, we actually, based on our previous seasons, we have a Hall of Fame. We've retired a couple of decks. Not so coincidentally, they're decks from sort of 98, 99, which is when the Urza block reigned supreme. The Yawgmoth's Bargain deck won our most recent Historical Standard season. That was Season 3. Memory Jar won the first season we did of Gauntlet of Greatness, and Academy deck was also ridiculous in that first season, so we retired 2 decks from Season 1, we retired a deck from Season 3, and I gotta tell you, if we have another Urza block deck win, I may just retire the entire block to the Hall of Fame. Here's Group A. So, 16 decks. Group A does have a couple of Urza block decks. There's a Tinker deck, which we added last season. There's a Replenish deck, which was probably the most requested deck I had. So I've gone ahead and added the Replenish combo deck this season. Erhnageddon and Faeries will round out Group A, which is what we're going to be playing today. Throwing up the last couple of groups, just so you get a quick look, the Necropotence deck has been to the playoffs both seasons of Historical Standard. It's got a second place. It is definitely one of the favorites coming in. Mythic has got to be the other favorite. It also has made the playoffs both Historical Standard seasons and has a second place to its credit. So Mythic got to be the favorite in Group C, and man, that Rebels deck just will not go away. Refuses to get relegated. Here's Group D, some modern flavor with an Obzon deck and a Black Devotion deck, Callblade, and then Turbo Stasis. So those are the 16 decks. We're going to play at the group stage. If you go 0-2, you are relegated out of the next season. If you go 2-0 or 2-1, you make the top 8 and proceed to the playoffs. So what are you thinking, Replenish versus Faeries, Shadow?
Well, our practice match gave us a Faeries 2-1. It really depends on whether or not you can get online, and I'm not sure how online you can get reliably, running into the interference that the Fairy deck can put up.
Yeah, here is the Replenish deck. Replenish is the key card in the deck. This sorcery returns all enchantments from the graveyard to the battlefield. Attunement is a way to sort of pull through your deck, draw 3, discard 4. You dump not just Opalescence, which turns all the enchantments into creatures, but also Parallax Wave and Parallax Tide into the graveyard. Those Masks block cards are what really put this deck over the top, and it was just great in Standard when it was Saga block plus Masks block. Frantic Search, another Searcher. I think, though, the deck is a little bit vulnerable to getting its key cards countered, so this is not a great matchup, right? You don't want to be playing a bunch of card disadvantaged tutors and big sorceries that the whole game depends on against a deck like Faeries. So we'll see how this plays out. The Faeries deck has been in all 3 seasons. It should look relatively familiar to anyone who's played this archetype over the years. You know, Cryptics, Thoughtseize, Ancestral Visions, these are all great cards. Bitter Blossom is obviously ridiculous. You've got Spell Stutters, Scion of Una, and Mistbind Click as your actual Fairies. Rune Snag is not the best counter, but you know what? It'll get the job done in a pinch. And then, you know, some terrors for trading card for card. So that's the matchup. I think it's a tricky matchup for Replenish, but it is one that I feel like I can win from the Replenish side, though, like you say, I think a lot of it comes down to how things actually play out. All right, I'm going to set up a match for us to play. Freeform, open play, getting serious, and we'll play 60-minute clocks just so they don't matter. Yeah, come fight me.
All right, see you on the other side. Good luck.
Yeah, I will mute you on Skype, and we can chat more after the match. Good luck. All right, it's 2000 versus 2008. Urza block versus the Fairy Menace. All right, can I keep this draw? This card is not great against him. Like, there are some decks you can just lock out of the game, so it's a one of to be tutored for. But I mean, the fact that he has Thoughtseize makes this a problem. What does this draw do? I mean, I can answer a Bitter Blossom. But I'm like, card disadvantage. If he just has And I only have 2 lands? Discard blank. Wow. I mean, the Mystical Tutor can go get a Replenish. I mean, I think I think I'm going to have to try this. I'm really hoping that I can draw... I need to draw a 3rd land and then Frantic Search my way into a 4th land and then, like, Mystical for a Replenish, I guess. Not in love with this draw, but... I mean, the Erhnageddon Port is going to make it tricky for him to counterspell my things, so we'll try it. I don't think I have anything I'm mystical for here. Like I said, in my head, it's to go get a Replenish. Oh, he's gonna leave Mutavault. If he's gonna spend his turn 2 attacking with Mutavault, I got a plan for that. This will also turn off turn 2 Bitter Blossom, which is kind of nice. Need to draw a land though, not gonna lie. I mean, I guess I can play Energy Field, right? If he doesn't come up with a Thoughtseize, then it hangs out until I turn my creatures into my enchantments into creatures and he comes up with a Terror. Drew the land. So I think I just go ahead and Replenish here. I mean, Frantic Search. I think. Like, while he's tapped out? Well, that's what I'm doing. Attunements. So attunements definitely help me fuel a big Replenish. Huh. Well, I don't think the second attunement is all that exciting. I guess it's defense against counterspells. Do it that way. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and play this attunement rather than leave up Erhnageddon Port. I mean, if he does something, not that he does a lot of things at sorcery speed, but like if he attacks me with Mutavault or something, then I can return attunement, potentially hit land, Replenish. Sure, second Mutavault. Not attacking. Interesting. So that's almost certainly Rune Snag? I mean, I can attunement here, and I sort of don't care if I get it Rune Snagged. Of course, I can also tap Secluded Glen, but I don't think I want to do that. Like, he must be sitting on Rune Snag. Yeah, I'm gonna activate this, recast it, and then not care. Right, I can go port. Oh wow, I don't even have to recast it, right? I can just dump a bunch of stuff in the graveyard. Plan to resolve Replenish next turn. Seal. Energy Field. Opalescence, and I guess I can play Attunement into his obvious counterspell. But Port just seems better. Get something in step. Oh, he has Dorky Spellstutter Sprite. Sure. Don't care. Definitely would like him to not have blue mana on my turn. If he wants to hit me with Mutavault, I don't care. What I want is the blue mana. Yeah, what I want is the River of Tears. Awesome. So what might I want to tutor for? I guess I might want an Enlightened tutor here. Let's bring it all back. Whee! Funny. The Replenish itself sacrifices the energy field. That's funny. Yeah, it's a one of. It's funny interaction. All right, well, I have 7, 8, 9, 13. I have 16 power worth of guys. GL? I mean, it seems like that should just be good enough, right? What does he do from here? He can do a bunch of terrors and stuff, but I mean, I can obviously go get another Replenish if I need to. All right, terrors and opalescence. I do not have an answer for that. That's fine. I mean, which means the other opalescence is not a creature. Yeah, yeah. Let's get 2 blue mana. I don't think I want to tutor for anything. I think I just want to smash him. And like set up another Replenish for at the point where I can tap his blue mana. Sure. Oh, that's a good card. I like that one. I mean, you want to trade a Mutavault for a Seal of Cleansing? I think I'm fine with that. Oh, he's going to jump a 3/3. He's going to double block a 3/3. That I'm okay with too. Yeah, I have Counterspell Port. That seems good. And the ability to Mystical for a new Replenish. Pendelhaven is not going to get the job done. No, hilariously, I guess I actually want to tap in his main phase so that I can Mystical while he has no blue mana floating. I mean, at this point, I just go get... sure, combat stuff, don't care. Right, that taps for black, so I don't care. So if I return Attunement, I can discard a bunch of stuff. Go to his end step. Yeah, I think I return Attunement, and if I whiff on Replenish, then I just Mystical for Replenish. Did whiff on Replenish. Guess I could have Enlightened tutored for like a wave for value. Probably should have. Whatever. Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting on 2 counterspells. I can cast Replenish with counterspell backup. He's not going to recover from this. Energy field is still darky, but good enough. There you go. I don't know if I played it optimally. It's been a while, but not just good, good enough. All right. I think I need to be a control deck against him. I don't love Attunement against him. I can erase his Bitter Blossoms. Those seem good. I actually think Daze is not crazy. And then like all these card disadvantage tutors just seem bad. Energy field is not good. I mean, that's 60, right? I could have more Wrath of Gods if he gets out of control at some point. Maybe 1 is okay. Maybe I just play it like this. I mean, I don't love the attunements. I don't love these, but I guess I need some of that. Has to be in my deck. If I take out the tutors, I don't have the inherent card disadvantage. Attunement is kind of the more powerful combo enabler. Maybe I have a second Daze instead of a 4th attunement. Kind of want this Daze, I think. Actually, Attunement or Frantic Search? I like Frantic Search. Attunement's better, more what the deck is about, isn't it? Arg! Alright, let's do it this way. Draw seems good. I've got the double blue for counterspell. I've got a Replenish. I've got a Frantic Search. Pretty clearly a keeper. I can take the stop off his upkeep until I draw another port. Even got a Seal of Cleansing to kill Bitter Blossom. Ancestral Visions, huh? Alright. Interesting. It may be that, like, I set up a fight on his upkeep over this Ancestral Visions, get him tapped out, untap Frantic Search into Replenish. Seems like a way this game could play. I like Erhnageddon port. Do I just start tapping and take down counterspell? I probably do. I mean, he didn't do anything on turn 3 last turn. It's going to be something like Scion of Una. Spell Stutter. Sure. You can have a 1/1. I don't want to get up. I don't want to let you get to 4 mana. Sure. It's annoying. So Wave has to hit the Scion first, but I can do that, and he's tapped out now. And don't I just slam Parallax Wave here? Hit the Scion. I now have a wave, which makes any future Ancestral's not about to resolve. Yeah, makes sense to me. Oh, that's lame. It's pretty well played by him. I don't know if that was deliberate bait on his part, but Thoughtseize card seems pretty good against me, not gonna lie. Does he think he can win a counterspell fight over Ancestral? Interesting. Alright, what happens here? I mean, I'm clearly going to counterspell it. He's not going to be able to use a Spell Stutter Sprite here because I can mess him up with my wave. And I can pay for one Rune Snag. Yeah. No Ancestral for you. Alright. Game on. Alright. I mean, these ports allow me to force through something big, but I'm a little flooded, not gonna lie. I mean, all he's doing is drawing. Well, he's not doing much to me. And if he's just going to attack me for one, then I'm going to have time to draw out of this flood. Interesting. I wonder if I'm supposed to... I wonder if I'm supposed to go digging for an Opalescence while Parallax Wave can still flicker itself. So he's got blue, blue, black. So sweet if I resolve Opalescence here. And I can do it through a Rune Snag, right? I think I am going to go digging. I found a wave. But I did not find... Did not find an Opalescence. So that wave's going to go away next turn. And I think I just discard lands. And content myself with porting him. Fun, fun. I probably should have kept a plains instead of an island. That's fair. Yeah, I should have kept plains instead of island. But island is just better. Like, my intuitions short circuit. That's annoying. My brain just tells me that Island is better than Plains. Alright, losing that Parallax Wave is officially annoying. Kind of need to come up with a Replenish now. Ooh. He's tapped down to single blue. Yeah, we just go for this. I'm gonna replenish. I will want an extra white mana so that I can play the seal and then the replenish. So I'm gonna float a white and then untap the plains. Come on, deck. Hit me. Counterspell. It does not count. Sigh. Do I want this seal randomly in play? Anything. I want to hold it in case I draw an attunement or a frantic search as a thing I can discard. Giving him all his lands, which I'm not in love with, but I kind of want to have up counterspell and then still be able to do max porting. So I'm just going to let him have his mana. So I don't get all the blue, but I have a counterspell. Okay. Huh. Is I supposed to have blue here for counterspell? Maybe. I mean, I'm happy to get through the Misbind Click during his end step, rather than my upkeep, obviously. No, I wanted to port. I think I did that right. I just need my deck to deliver me something, an attunement, or a frantic search, or basically we need to replenish. Replenish here is awesome. Lack of replenish here is bad. Parallax Wave fades away, right into the graveyard where we want it. Island. Seriously, deck? 5, 6, 7, 8. Yikes. Yeah, I'm a little flooded, not gonna lie. Yeah, again, I want to leave up counterspell. I guess I can triple port, but like, if he casts something, that's good for me. Come on, deck. Not gonna get it done. Would have been insane with Parallax Wave. Doesn't do anything here. I can have Seal of Cleansing as a ground blocker. Does not help. That's a cool game. Sort of. Thoughtseize wrecked me. Man, that was all about Thoughtseize. He Thoughtseized away my Replenish, and then he Thoughtseized away my backup Parallax Wave. And now we're on to game 3. Do I have my deck set up wrong? I mean, obviously, I would have liked tutors there, but I mean, it's partially because I drew this triple Erhnageddon port draw. Seal of Cleansing didn't do much. Man, I don't know. I don't really like tutors in this matchup. Yeah, I mean, especially if he's... I don't know. I'm putting the attunement back in. Daze seems even better when I'm on the play. Seal of Cleansing did actual nothing. I mean, it could have at least been a 2-2. I don't know. 2 ways to blow up Bitter Blossom seems good enough to me. Yeah, I'm going to keep. I'm going to need to draw land, not going to lie. I mean, I like the turn 2 Lilting Refrain. Like, that's just going to be an unanswerable counterspell by the time I need one. I mean, I obviously really need to draw land 3 is the tricky bit. This draw is... If I miss on mana for 2 draw steps in a row, I will be sad. But, I mean, that shouldn't happen. The vast majority of my games, I'll hit 3 on 3. Yeah, Lilting Refrain builds up as a power sink. So it gets a counter every turn, and then eventually I get to sink something, make him pay X extra. So he just revealed Bitter Blossom and then put Ancestral over there. Roger that. The first draw I have without a Bitter Blossom answer. Yep. Probably go looking for Bitter Blossom answer. Planes. Yeah, I'm gonna Frantic Search here. I don't have the second blue, and I don't have a Bitter Blossom answer. Daze, Port, Plains. Wow. God, Parallax Tide is so good if I can resolve it. I think I discard the counterspell and the planes. Yeah, I'm gonna play it that way. Nice. Interesting. He can Rune Snag for 2. Oh, I can sack Lilting Refrain if he does that? So I can Parallax Tide to force through Lilting Refrain? Oh, he can get to Spell Stutter Sprite by animating Mutavault. That'll get him to 4 Faeries, but that play loses to Daze. Let's try this. Rune Snag. So I think I just Lilting Refrain that. Because this Parallax Tide lets me force through future spells by messing with his lands. Go ahead and get the blue mana now? Yeah, I think I do. Mistbind Click. Good to know. Alright. So I can play Opalescence. I think I have to get his blue mana, right? I just keep him off blue? Oh, yeah, I messed the timing up on this. I was like, oh, I'll just go to my second combat to put Opalescence in, but then I missed my attack with a 4/4. Like, I wanted to attack with 4/4 Opalescence. Messed that up. I should have done this on his turn, so he couldn't float the blue mana here. God, do I do it anyway? Huh. Yep, messed up the timing. I don't know that I'm going to be able to attack him for lethal anyway. So I'm going to make sure I resolve Opalescence and turn future draws of Parallax Wave into amazing things. Yeah, I mean, this 4 damage would have been nice, but it's not that big a deal. God, Parallax Wave is now officially insane. Can you do anything about flying creatures? This is the second game in a row where I've been able to keep him off counterspells by attacking his lands. And I'm sitting on stupid days. If this was an Enlightened Tutor or a Mystical Tutor, I would just win. Wonder if I have sideboarded wrong. Like, at this point now, my Parallax Tide is going to go down to no counters. I'm not going to be able to flicker it. It is entirely possible that I have just sideboarded badly. This matchup's so weird. Like, sometimes he's a creature deck, sometimes he's a control deck. And figuring out when he's which is really hard. But this Daze has not worked out. If that Daze were a tutor, I feel like, yeah, I would just win. I mean, in Enlightened Tutor, I would go get Parallax Wave. Parallax Wave would give me infinite flickering. Like, because I have Opalescence, Parallax Wave can exile his creature and then as a response exile itself, come back with 5 counters ready to just keep doing it. Yeah, Parallax Wave Opalescence is kind of insane. Parallax Wave Opalescence is remove your creature, response, remove my Parallax Wave. I just keep flickering Parallax Wave back as a 5 fading, just exile. I get to exile all of his creatures forever and defend myself against removal. It's kind of insane. Okay. See if like Scion of Una or something he's going to surprise me with? Oh, Pendelhaven, it's fine. I'm just happy to kill Bitter Blossom at this point. I was going to lose my Parallax Tide next turn anyway. He gets his mana back, which I'm not in love with, but... Parallax Tide with Parallax... I mean, throw in Parallax Tide with that combo, by the way, and all of his lands are gone forever. Like, I exile them, and then I exile the Parallax Tide as a response, and those lands... There's no triggered ability for his lands to ever come back. Like, Wave plus Tide plus Opalescence, all of his permanents are just gone forever. But no, I have a Daze in my hand. Which is doing actual nothing. I think this deck is good. Like, it seems like a worthy Gauntlet deck. It does cool, incredibly powerful things. But I think I'm going to lose to Faeries. Well, at least I'm going to get to Daze something. Parallax Wave, one-time dealer. The Sky Diamond. Am I dead? 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. I guess I have one draw step left. Do I want Sky Diamond? I want to be able to attunement into multiple things. Yeah, I want to be able to attunement into a Replenish, so I can't. Well, if I'm going to attunement into Replenish, then I do need Sky Diamond in play. I can just play land next turn. Keep my options open. Yeah, live stream. Welcome, Honda. Oh god. I let it turn into a fairy and now it's... Oh, now it has Shroud from Scion of Una. What have I done? Oh, seriously? So, I forgot that Scion of Una turns it into a fairy, which makes it impossible to tap with Erhnageddon Port Shadow. Like, I went to go click my Erhnageddon
Okay,
Port.
no problem. Like, just tap your Erhnageddon Port, I'll tap it.
Yeah,
that's fine.
I don't think we're supposed
That's fine.
I don't think we're supposed to have that deny me my last draw step. All right, it's tapped. Thank you. No, it's funny. It's a funny little interaction. I mean, whatever. I have to draw perfect next turn, which is probably not going to happen, but I want the sweat. Yeah, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Last draw step. Come on back, Island. Ah! Interesting match. Very interesting. That was an interesting match.
Yeah.
Faeries is victorious. Wow.
I took out Bitter Blossoms in game 2, decided it was a mistake and put them back in 3.
Okay. I took out my tutors because it felt like we were playing this control battle. And then I'm sitting on stupid Daze. If my Daze had been an Enlightened tutor, I would have been able to set up the ridiculous Parallax Wave Opalescence combo. Like, you're just destroyed.
I have 2 Damnations in my hand.
You have no mana. I have wave tie. Wave
oh yeah,
plus
no.
tie
If you've got both waves, then yeah, no, I just lose.
Yeah, no, you have literally no permanents. If I have an Enlightened tutor instead of a Daze, you have no lands and no creatures. Nice Damnations. But I didn't. I sideboarded out, and I honestly don't know if my play was correct. I mean, obviously, if I was Psychic, I would have had a tutor in my hand. I don't know which is correct.
Nope. The chat's right. You were dead last turn.
Oh, because you can.
Yeah, I would just activate it again. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry. Yeah.
Free cards.
Not a control battle, it's a combo deck, says chat. Leave the tutors in. It's probably right.
Yeah.
I mean, in retrospect, I think I would rather have... Yeah, I think I have to treat it like a combo deck. Like, it played like a control deck in our practice matches, and to be fair, you beat me 2 out of 3 both times. But
yes.
I like I said, there's a lot of play in my side of the matchup, and I mean, I'm dusting off 15-year-old Replenish skills where I never actually played this standard version of the deck. It's a fun matchup.
Sure.
Though. So
yeah,
what
that was fun, but yeah, like I decided that it was going to be a control matchup, like in game too. That's why I was just like, I'll just play these guys, and I'm just going to try to beat you with 1/1s while we stare at each other for a while, and hopefully that'll be good enough.
Yeah. Yeah, I should have left. Okay. So where we are, this means Faeries is 1-0, Replenish is 0-1. The winner, Faeries, will now play the winner of the match between Erhnageddon and Tinker. Replenish will play the loser of the match between Erhnageddon and Tinker. So Replenish is still totally live to make the playoffs, totally fine. We've certainly seen a combo deck stumble out of the gates as I figured out how to play it and then do just fine. That's basically the story of the Elves deck from our No Ban Most Modern season, right? Elves lost. I think it lost its first round and came all the way back. And pretty much every time I played it, I felt like I was playing it a little better.